Hello everyone, welcome to SwitchUp as we once again have a look at some of the games coming out for the Switch or the Switch 2 in this upcoming week. In terms of dates, we're going from the 13th of September up until the 19th to see if there's anything releasing worth your time and money. So which games are coming out this week? Well, let's find out.
A thanks to Untold Tales with their new release Gloomy Eyes, which came out on the 12th. This one reminds us a little bit of Little Nightmares.
Yeah, this is set in a world where there's a conflict between the living and the undead, and you'll play as two characters, one of each, switching between them at times to try and solve a variety of puzzles. It describes itself as a heartwarmingly bleak fairy tale of necromantic adventure, and goes on to say it's almost a self-co-op game, as I mentioned, with you switching between those two characters in single player.
Yeah, it definitely has a Tim Burton vibe to it. It's actually quite nice aesthetically, and we do have a full video of this one.
Each level is a handcrafted rotatable diorama overflowing with visual macabre charm and ghoulishly delightful details. As we mentioned, you'll be solving a number of different puzzles. One character is not able to go into the light, whereas the other one needs to do so to be safe, so you need to try and keep both characters where they should be by working together. I say working together, you're kind of working with yourself, aren't you?
All the price information is on your screen now. Once again, a big thank you to Untold Tales for sponsoring this episode.
The one game that's already out then is Call of the Sea. This first released in 2020 elsewhere, and is an adventure game that's set in the 1930s in the far reaches of the South Pacific. Nora has crossed the ocean following the trail of her missing husband's expedition and finds herself on a lush island paradise, but what strange secrets does it hold, and what might Nora unearth in her quest for the truth? I think generally this did okay on other consoles. I've heard positive things about it, so it's nice to see it come to the Switch. That one's already out and sells for £16.75. Moving on to the games coming out this week then, and the first of those is LEGO Voyagers. This comes from the makers of LEGO Builder's Journey and is a two-player co-op adventure about friendship and play according to the blurb. When two friends make it their mission to rescue an abandoned spaceship, they embark on a journey beyond their wildest dreams, ultimately learning the value of being connected. It says you can experience what it feels like to be a LEGO brick, tumbling, jumping, snapping together and building your way through rich brick worlds, unravel a poetic non-verbal narrative set in beautiful brick-built environments, and cooperatively solve the game's many challenges, discovering how two bricks can be better than one. There's also a Friends Pass edition that you can download on the eShop, which means that if you are playing with a friend and they don't have a copy of the game, they can download that for free and you can then play together, which is nice to see. I've played a couple of these LEGO games on the Switch. I'm not talking about the better known LEGO games, the ones created by Traveller's Tales. I'm talking about the others that are, I suppose, a bit more in line with an actual building experience. If you are a fan of LEGO, as I am, I do have a second channel actually, GB Bricks, which is based solely on LEGO or other brick companies. There'll be a link to that in the description. There may even be a link to it in the top right hand corner if I can figure out how to do that for a channel. But this one releases on the 15th of September and will cost £19.99 or your regional equivalent. The next game then is War Mongrels, and it says here you'll make your mark in history, standing in the front line of the Second World War. It looks to be a real-time strategy game, a la something like Commandos, which is also on the Switch these days. And it says it has an interactive map where you can take advantage of the surroundings as you navigate unknown terrains, a tactical planning mode that will allow you to pause and carefully plan your next move, and a dynamic action mode, which promises fast-changing environments with adaptive enemies to maneuver around. It goes on to say you'll strategize carefully to ensure mission success using the interactive map I just mentioned to your advantage by creating clever diversions, setting ambushes and maneuvering around enemy attention to slip past unnoticed. £31.49 for this one if you are interested, or again of course your regional equivalent, and this one's out on the 16th of September.
What is exceptional about this story are these people and the actions we took together. From today's perspective, I see all this as deeds of madmen.
Also this week we have Formula Legends, which calls itself a love letter to Formula Racing. It says it takes you on a journey through the sport's most iconic eras, from the roaring machines of the 60s to the cutting-edge technology of today, experiencing the evolution of open-wheel racing in a beautifully stylized world. It goes on to say you can slide into the cockpit of legendary cars spanning decades of motorsport history, 16 unique models, each with 7 liveries, bringing 112 vehicles to life. There are iconic circuits reimagined, 14 in total to be precise, inspired by historic racing locations, and you'll need to master the elements as well, fine-tuning your car from battery management to slipstreaming and chasing the perfect lap. There's no trailer on the eShop for this one, so I'm not sure how it looks in action. The screenshots do look good, provided they are of course representative of the Switch edition. There is a demo you can try though if you want to see what it's all about, and that one releases on the 17th for £17.99. We then have Class of Heroes 3 Remaster. So after a 15-year wait, it says Class of Heroes 3, the revered school-themed dungeon RPG series, is finally here. So this first released then in 2010, as the time span there would imply, for the PlayStation 3 and the PSP, with those releases being in Japan. You'll enroll in one of 3 distinct schools, joining your fellow students on an epic dungeon crawling adventure, and you'll also enjoy school life on campus and meet brand new friends for a huge range of characters and classes. You can choose your party to suit your playstyle according to the blurb, and then take to the 3D dungeons to take down enemies and acquire loot. Remastered for a new generation, it says. It doesn't give specifics as to what the improvements are, but if you do like your traditional first-person dungeon crawling RPGs, or if you have any sort of love for this series, of course, then it may be one to pick up. It's out on the 18th of September for £24.99, but you can get 10% off of that price up until launch day. We've got Puzzle Quest Immortal Edition out on the 18th, which brings back the classic match-3 puzzle RPG into what it calls the definitive Puzzle Quest, polished for a new era and featuring all the collected content from almost 20 years of history. You can experience the original Puzzle Quest, Challenge of Warlords, Revenge of the Plague Lord, and The Legend Returns all together. I played Puzzle Quest back in the day. It's a very good game, and you move along a map and continuing the story and taking on enemies in match-3 style. What I will say about this game, I always found that sometimes it felt very unfair, like when it was the enemy's turn, the pieces just fell perfectly into their lap for them to get 4 in a row and things like that, and just continue their go until you were almost dead without even trying. But it is a very good game, and I'm sure there'll be a lot of people that may not have ever played it, and it's going to release with all of the content together for £11.99, as I said, on the 18th. We have Towa and the Guardians of the Sacred Tree next, coming from Bandai Namco, and this is a roguelite adventure set in a far-off mystic realm. You play as Towa and the Guardians on their quest to restore peace in a world where even splendor hides a lurking threat. You'll choose 2 Guardians and take part in a thrilling roguelike combat according to the blurb, forging weapons and developing bonds with other characters, with each visit to the village being a chance to train at the dojo, summoning powerful graces and crafting new swords at the smiths. This is another one with a demo if you want to give it a try. It's out on the 19th for £24.99 or your regional equivalent. The penultimate game is HYKE Northern Lights, which is a 2D top-down action pixel RPG. You play as a young witch, following in her mother's footsteps who ruined the world, it says here, a world devastated by the war between humans and witches. You'll explore dangerous forbidden zones filled with magic, with 7 distinct characters to choose between, each offering a unique experience, it says. It also makes a big point of mentioning a relaxing camp life, where you'll enjoy the warmth of campfires and listen to soothing music before setting out again on more daring adventures. It also looks to have a cooking mechanic where you can prepare meals to gain buffs before the next stage. Again, no trailer on the eShop. I do like the art style though. Some of the screenshots in particular look quite stunning, to be fair. Not a huge amount about exactly how it plays, but it's out on the 19th for £23.32. And the final game of the week then, we have Trails in the Sky First Chapter. So this is, as the name would imply, part of the Trails series, a series that's quite long spanning. There are some of the games on the Nintendo Switch already. This is a remake, I believe, of Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky, which released back in 2004. And this has been remade using the same engine that was used for Trails Through Daybreak, a game that is on the Switch. I do like a few games in the Trails series, but I'm not a big enough fan to understand exactly the lineage of it, if you like, the chronology, how it all ties together. But giving you some information here from the blurb, it says this is a story-driven RPG that took off as the landmark first installment of the beloved Trails series, and here is receiving a full remake. It says you'll enjoy seamless transitions between two battle modes, field action and turn-based combat. And the remake also features dynamic showcases of each character's special abilities or crafts and elemental magic or arts, delivering exhilarating battle experiences. It promises the game will offer various quests and extensive side content, allowing players to immerse themselves in the journey through the kingdom from a fresh perspective. Please do feel free to add any more information about the game without obviously doing anything spoiler worthy, to give people that are interested a bit more information. But this one's out on the 19th for £53.99, and there is a demo that you can try if you want to get a bit more information about the game before making a decision. So that's it for another week of Nintendo Switch releases. No Switch 2 games releasing this week. Technically there is one, I'll give it a quick mention here. You have EA Sports FC 26 for the Switch 1 and the Switch 2, but it's only the bundle that's available this week with, you know, the bits they do, the early access of course for a week and premium passes for this and that. I will feature this game in next week's video properly when it's out for everyone, not just this ultimate early edition for extra money, but that is out this week if you are interested in that. Do let me know in the comment section which games you're planning on picking up, if any. Don't forget, if you're looking for eShop credit, you can use our website switchup.gg to get your eShop cards, and you get yourself 5% of your purchase price back as cash back. And there's a link down there to Play Asia if you want to import any games. Again, using our link and code will save you 5%. And I'll just give my other channel one more mention, GB Bricks, if you are into Lego or building products of any description. I've got a fair few videos on there now, reviews, top 10 lists, some of my mocks, my own creations that I've built, showcasing them as well. So yeah, if you could give that a watch, that would be great. There would have been a card earlier and there's a link down in the description. Thank you to our patrons and our channel members for your continued support, and to each and every one of you for watching our videos. Take care, and until next time, happy gaming.